So, there's been a big update in the MrBeast situation. The former employee Jake Weddle, who was featured in the newest Dogpack 404 video, which ended up getting over 11 million views by the way, and was strangely not on trending. He just posted a new video on his own channel, titled I Caught Jimmy in a Secret Recording, where he shows a strange text message that he received from some completely unknown person, who claimed to have a secret recording of MrBeast talking about Weddle and Dogpack.
They stole the private shuttle, stole the toys, that's not interested. He's supposed to still be in or whatever, so. What are our options? Is this legally considered defamation? Because I was struggling here. Can someone please tell me just what my options are here? Because we were supposed to launch the toys today. Jake knows what he wants. Jake knows what he thinks he needs. He's supposed to be a stupid stand-up comedian and making all that free. He has no idea how much fucking money I spent on that video just to scrap it. Jake, I don't think Jake's a problem. I think it's Dawson.
Sadly, this video ended up being AI generated, but he also mentioned something else in the video that's a lot more interesting. He mentioned a real text message that he got from the real MrBeast, aka Jimmy. And in that message, Jimmy actually apologizes to Jake Weddle, saying, quote, I wanted to reach out and say I didn't mean to cause you any mental stress with that video and I apologize. Even offering to give him the other $190,000 that Jake claimed he never received. Jimmy even says in that message that he had zero expectations of Jake mentioning this to anyone or taking down any videos. Which, I mean, that's some pretty big news, right? Because up until now, MrBeast has made absolutely zero statements regarding this entire drama, this entire situation. And we already know he's been actively deleting comments on his newest videos. He's been avoiding any mention of this topic whatsoever. Jake actually went on to say in his video that he didn't take the money, which is absolutely insane to me. And he also mentions that he had a private conversation with Jimmy, and he ended up taking $50K instead of the $190K. Now, the reason he settled for only $50K instead of $190K was because basically him and Jimmy had come to a sort of agreement where he could still talk about Jimmy and complain about him, but he would only be able to take the $50K instead of the $190K. Now, that to me sounds pretty damn sketchy. I wouldn't say it's an outright bribe or anything, but it definitely does feel a bit weird, and a lot of people were calling him out on this on Twitter and in his comment section. They were basically calling him a hypocrite, they said he was unfunny, and I mean, I don't know if I really fully agree with them on this, but I completely see why they're saying this and where they're coming from. Because it really does seem pretty ironic to continue complaining about MrBeast when he already offered you the money he owed, and you turned it down. So here's the actual clip where Jake describes their conversation.
So me and Jimmy are texting a little bit, and then he calls me, and the conversation goes, "Hey, I'm really sorry about all that. That was fucked up, and I should have put you through that. So I have a lot of money. Do you want some? Oh, how much money? How about the rest of the money from the thing? About $190,000. Would you like that? Would you like $190,000? Oh, that's the thing. I know. I don't want you to think that you got to take any videos down. I don't want you to think you're. You don't have to post anything because I don't want it to look like I'm buying you out or you're being silent. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. This is just for me to make things right. I respect that. I appreciate that. But you know how it looks. You know, for you to give me this cash that I desperately need, right? You know, I want my audience to trust me here. You know, I want to remain credible. Yeah, totally. So you don't even like post about it. Don't worry about it. Just take this cash. I just don't. Counter offer, $50. You save $140,000. You just give me $50. That's gonna cover all my debts, some medical bills that I have. I have taxes on the back burner from last year because I'm freelance. And that'll get me back to zero. And I get to keep saying whatever the hell I want. I get to keep being honest. I get to keep being authentic. And I'm not going to worry about you guys coming after me for being myself. Yeah, great. Bank info still the same?
Personally, I don't see anything particularly wrong with this. Now, I do think that MrBeast is right for offering to pay Jake what he was owed. But I don't really think Jake is a hypocrite either for taking the money. But the argument for him being a hypocrite could be made. I guess it has some validity to it. Because he did mention in earlier videos that he didn't want any money from MrBeast. And now he's taking $50K. So you'll have to form your own opinion about that one. The biggest question here to me is why? Why did MrBeast even offer to give him this money? I mean, it's not like MrBeast is a stranger to not paying people for their work or suffering or anything. And it's also surprising that he isn't threatening Jake with cease and desist the same way he did with Dogpack. Now, I think the reason why MrBeast did this instead of just attacking Jake is because he wanted the positive PR. He does mention in the text that he didn't expect Jake to tell anyone about it, but he did anyways. I'm not saying that Jake was paid to lie about this or anything, or that Jake was paid off and is secretly working for MrBeast, but I do believe that the main reason Jimmy did this was because he knew for a fact that Jake would post the video, because, I mean, let's not lie. Jake hasn't exactly been quiet about the whole situation, right? He knew that Jake posting this would make him look a lot better, and, I mean, come on, Jimmy's basically a billionaire now. Like, 50 grand is nothing to him, so that would make sense to me. Obviously, there's going to be some people who genuinely believe that Jimmy did this because he's a good person. I personally don't think that. I think his motives are a lot more selfish and deep as they come off as. And I think a lot of people who are going to see this, I think they're going to believe that he's genuinely trying to help someone who he hurt. Now, since the Jake Weddle video, Jimmy has actually posted another video on his main channel titled 7 Days Stranded in a Cave, which at the time I'm recording this has about like 7 million views and over 360,000 dislikes. So it really feels like MrBeast is just trying to ignore this whole situation and continue as usual. And another thing that Jake mentioned in his video that's actually really interesting was he actually leaked some info about Dogpack's third video that he's working on, where he talks about how Dogpack's next video is going to be the worst of them. It's going to apparently be the most damaging, the most heinous, and there's some really serious allegations that are going to be discussed in that upcoming video, which sounds pretty crazy to me, since the allegations in just the first 2 videos have already been pretty crazy, especially with the whole like illegal lottery thing and that Delaware guy. I'll play a clip for you here.
Dogpack's next video is going to talk about some very, very serious allegations that I think if you work at Beast, don't work at Beast, fan of his, not a fan of his, people need to come forward about how they've been treated and how they've been affected. Because at the very least, if Jimmy is too big to fail, then maybe that'll make the company a little better.
So, to all the people saying that Jake Weddle was paid off, Jimmy paid him to make this video, I completely disagree, and I think this clip pretty much says it all. Jake literally says here that people need to start speaking up about what's happening at MrBeast, and I'm pretty sure Jimmy would never pay him to say that. That's pretty much it so far. I'll probably make some more videos about this when new updates roll around. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comments. I'm sure you guys have a lot to say, but that's all for me. Make sure to like, subscribe, have a nice day.